Hello, my homies, and welcome back to another episode of the Please Do Tell podcast. I'm your homegirl, Ronika, and I am here with.
Hey, 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 what's going on? It's me, Jeffrey. I am here. I am present and I am ready.
Ready? Okay.
Mm-mm. Now, why are you all over there so giggly today?
Excited because, wait for it. I have a clue of what we're celebrating today. We're celebrating something. Dun, 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 dun.
100. Wow. 100th episode day of the Please Do Tell podcast. Come on now. 100. 1-0. Wow. That's crazy. A
We made it
hundred.
to triple digits. We made it. We made
That's
it.
crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Tambourine child. Where's the tambourine? Come on, church. Cooper's gonna come running in 5, 4.
Come
It's
on.
a
Come
celebration.
on.
It's
Come
a
on.
celebration. It's a celebration. Woo, woo, woo. What a blessing.
Yes,
What
yes,
a
yes.
blessing.
Congratulations. Congratulations to our listeners. Congratulations to the Please Do Tell. Everything about it. Congratulations to know that we've gotten to
One.
100 episodes of the Please Do Tell podcast. That's amazing, Ronnika. You know, it's
Yeah.
important when they start saying your first name that hard. That's amazing, Ronnika. All of a sudden you'll hear amen, amen. That's amazing. 100, 100. It's crazy
Oh,
because you see, you know, the whole thing of consistency, starting something, following through. I mean, it is next levels. Um, to be able to be a part of the Please Do Tell podcast, I am lucky. I'd say, some people say, don't say you're lucky. I am lucky.
to thank you because I feel like the last year has been the most consistent with this podcast, and that's because of you pushing me, like really being involved and saying like, no, we doing this together. We gonna record tonight. You tired? You sick? You still gonna show up? I think it was a couple times in the very beginning. It was like, ooh, I'm struggling. I'm sick. But it was like, nope. If I can show up sick,
Hey, we can do it. Because look, it's the listeners. It's the listeners to know
yeah,
that there's feedback. People say that, they understand the experience. Either I was there or I understand or I know somebody that has done, just to know that I just believe that we have to be consistent for them, So, and then of course I can't disappoint you. So, it's just the way it is. So you put those two together. Can't disappoint Renika. Uh, can't disappoint the listeners. My ass is in the chair.
mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And sometimes we're in this chair till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right, 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 right. you know, as they say,
Thank
perfection, things if you want to work hard, you got to put in the hours. You got to
that
put
is
in the
true.
hours. So,
That's true.
yeah.
So thank you. Thank the listeners. Thank the watchers. So we're just excited for 1,000 more stories, 1,000 episodes and beyond. Yeah, I'm just excited that we're here. We are closing out Black History Month. Say what? Say what? Say what? It went by so fast. But yeah,
Well,
the
we got
100
another week.
later. We do, but I can't believe it's almost over.
Look, I'm not going to look, give me my day. In my day.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, you all, you ready to dive in?
Let's get it.
So, we talked about even this month, you all, is it's crazy that we are crazy sexy cool actually.
Hey.
If you
Okay,
want to
TLC.
throw a little culture in there, it's really crazy sexy cool that we are recording our 100th episode this month during also the anniversary of Black History Month and Week. Black History Week is turned 100 this month and turned 50 this month. So we're in good company. We in
Absolutely.
good.
Absolutely.
So I am, man, I found myself reflecting on the very first episode with laying the foundation of not wanting people to address me as RJ anymore, like really owning like I am Ronika. Like and any at the end of the day you could throw any nickname you want to. I through and through I am Ronika and you will address me as such. So just to see that introduction and how people started to just do the switch immediately, just respecting how I wanted to be addressed just till now is just I'm in awe. So and I'm very, very thankful. So I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
it's
be
a,
giddy all episode.
look, it's an evolution, and one of the things, look, as starting off as a listener, and then all of a sudden, transitioning into co-hosting, what I want to do is actually ask you a few questions as a listener. I actually get a real time. We can do this real time. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So, kind of like, please do tell how.
how to even start? I shout out to those heartbeats. If you are new here, I made some friends. If you want to know what my week has been like, I made some cool friends at the Apple store because computer just was like, nah, I'm good. Take me in to get service. So I was telling them, I said, hey, it has to be up and back running by next Thursday. We record the episode because last week, y'all don't know, I was basically I was not recording on my computer. It was a time, so we pushed through it. But I'm in the Apple store, and I said, oh yeah, we record a podcast. He pulled out that phone and he said, oh okay, so let me. So is this is it? Okay. Oh, I got some catching up to do. So that was on Saturday. Sunday I came back in the store. Monday I came back in the store and he said, "Oh, I listened." Oh, that was quick feedback. He said that, black folks we have similar lived experiences, but this podcast really makes me want to call my friend and just go down memory lane like it's really nostalgic. And I thought to that's what I always want because I feel like storytelling is so nostalgic. Hello.
Hmm.
And so I remember calling Chantel and saying, like, I really want to do this podcast about storytelling. And because she's like this marketing guru. And I said, what do you think, it should be? So she sent me some names. And then she was like, but I really like this one. I was like, I really do too. Is please do tell. And every person that I taught that I was telling before the first episode even launched, it was like, no, I think you
You're on
got something.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you got something there. So shout out to Chantel because she's the one who came up with the name. I just gave her the idea and she was like, nope, this is it. These are your options. And then she came up with the logo. And yeah, just
But typically, when you look at like please do tell, it's like it's a conversation, you know.
mhm.
And typically, a lot of people conversation, as they say young people now they have a hard time with conversation. But even during our era of being a young person, and what I mean by that is in being a teenager, we still had our times where it was hard to have a conversation. Like, like what pushed you to, you know, move or have that, even that characteristic of conversation?
say, and I know Jeffrey and I joke about this a lot, but I was around elders a lot, so that's all they were having was conversations over coffee and coffee cake and cinnamon rolls. And it was a lot of, if you want to know something, just ask, but in a respectful way. So I knew how to kind of straddle that line of, okay, is this appropriate to ask or is it not appropriate to ask, or how do I ask it? So even when working with young people, so fast forward some years later, and working, Jeffrey and I was working for the Boys and Girls Club. One of the tasks was to have these young people talk to elders. Like, you're going to have this conversation with these elders. You're going to ask these questions, because I felt like it was a need. There was a disconnect, and I feel like we really get to know one another once we really are listening in a conversation. Like, a lot of people just talk just to just hear themselves talk, but when you're in an authentic, genuine conversation, you're there to listen, to learn, and to also give feedback as well, I think. So that's what I thought about when I even started Please Do Tell, because in the first season, I was just talking. It was just me. And
Got
I
you.
said, no, mm, we
That's a
need to hear
good.
from
That's good. I didn't mean to cut you off.
mm.
But that was another question I was going to say is, it's 100 episodes. You said the first season. How many seasons?
Hey,
See, I told you. I look as a person that's a listener, I get a chance to do a little bit of Q&A.
okay, you all. So the first season was, I believe, 8 episodes, and that was really learning about Ronnika and why I started Please Do Tell, and the whole evolution of from RJ to Ronnika and community. So then we did a second season, which was sponsored by the local medical system, by the local health system, and that season focused on power, influence, and oh my gosh, influence, power. Oh, I forgot the third one. You're gonna have to
Okay,
go back and listen.
that's fine.
So that season was, we had researchers out in the community. It was 10 episodes. And I think what was so beautiful about that is that, oh, I think it was actually more than 10 episodes. My cousin Perry, who died in 2023, was a part of that season.
Wow.
And you were able to hear from so many different backgrounds. Like, I remember getting so much pushback about Perry being a part of the episode because he had did 26 years in prison.
Mm, mm.
But that I was my and thankful for Dr. Lynn Tommen that she said, no, this story needs to be told. That was probably the first time in my life that you would always hear these whispers of what happened to the person, or the story of the person that had died, but this was the first time we had heard why this incident even happened, and why I wish that I could turn back the hands of time, and why I'm doing things differently now that I'm an adult. That was his whole thing, is like, I wish that I had a big homie to say these things, or sit the both of us down that were feuding
The
when I was
authenticity of the
younger.
story.
Yeah, so it was really, we had therapists in the room to really talk through that whole situation. It was, yeah, honestly, Perry's episode is still one of the most watched of all of them.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the third season, we came out swinging with Dr. Bernice Patterson, who is a psychologist, and I believe it was titled "The Doctor Will See You Now." And she's talking about being a black woman, being a therapist, and being a minister.
Was
So
she
whenever,
was
go ahead.
in season 3, was she your first guest, or what was that, or was she a part of the theme for
She
season 3?
was she was the first guest,
Okay.
and then so that was "What's Your Why?" So I was talking to
Okay.
people that were just really talking about their purpose and how they arrived there. So really telling their story there. And then also within that season, one of my classmates that was deported a couple years ago, he was able to tell his story because I didn't know that when we were in high school that he was not a documented I did not know until he came in that episode and told his story. So I'm so thankful that he was able to share his story on the
Well,
Please Do Tell podcast because we still have it, and um the fam hopefully just one day he can come back. I'm just, I know he has family here, and yeah, so that was season 3. And then once we got to finishing season 3, went on a hiatus, was just kind of rethinking some things, and then thought, you know what, no more seasons, just straight through as much as I can, try to do it. But I really think the turning point was when I had a conversation with someone else that has a podcast, and then they had this whole they had a contest for trying to find a co-host. And I was like, gosh, Jeffrey and I have been talking about a podcast for a long time. I wonder would he be willing to lock arms on this one? Because it was, I don't know if you even remember, Jeffrey, that we probably recorded one episode of, we had thought we were going to do a podcast called Friday and the 5th.
yeah, yeah, Friday and the 5th. That was COVID.
Yes, that was COVID.
COVID.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that episode is somewhere on my hard drive. But
Wow. I faintly remember because of the 5th.
ah,
I faintly remember that episode.
when I see Carmelo doing 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, I was like, that's kind of like what we were gonna do. But
Correct.
okay,
Correct. Correct.
so,
You know, you got to strike them ideas while they're hot.
yeah,
You better.
yeah. So 3 seasons, and then after that, it was like, no, we're just gonna just be continued. No more seasons. It's just ongoing.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, it's just going back through, um you see the progression as being someone that's listened and then actually being a part of. And what I mean by progression is in, a lot of people think when you say progression, you think the growth. I'm not. I'm not just talking about growth. I'm actually talking about the progression of just the conversation,
Mm,
as in it hits different facets of where it it's a part of it's a part of your toolbox. You know what I'm saying? As in, hey, I'm gonna learn a little bit about this over here. I'm gonna learn a little bit about somebody else's story that can actually benefit me.
mhm.
I can actually learn about this story and it's funny and it's gonna pour into me. So yeah, I mean, yep. Yeah, it's oh, no, I lost my train of thought right there because I had one more other question, but I was trying to read it at the same time. But I'll let you go.
There's one thing that, because people have noticed, even on my social media, is that I talk a lot about like self care, healing, and therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have any and everybody in my inbox like, gosh, do you have a therapist that you can recommend? And I feel like over the years, I built this community of therapists that I know. Shout out to Tasha Turner. Shout out to Samuel Jones. Shout out to Dr. Bernice. Shout out to Ashley. I could just keep going. I could just keep going about, especially in this area that I've met. But I use that episode as a entry point because even young people that we used to work with would slide in my DMs like, "Hey, I feel like maybe I need to talk to somebody." Okay, so I need you to first check out this episode, and then I'm going to refer you to and shout out to Tashana Space for Change in Grand Rapids because she's doing some amazing things with young women, especially up there. I know she has a support group and all of that. And I said, "Hey, I have a referral for you. Try it out." So I when collecting these stories, I knew that it would be able to help someone else, especially that one with therapy and black folks. So
And that's look, impact,
mhm.
100 episodes. Need me some more? Come on now.
Say what the kids do,
Yeah,
clock
yeah.
it.
Look, I haven't learned that one yet from the kids.
Doing this, but and then I was doing this, so to be quiet, and they was like, "Oh yeah, Miss." I said, "Okay, yep."
Well, the finger pop, the generation or two before us used to do that. So it's the same thing. It's only
Yeah.
so it's only so many ways you can move your fingers and move your head and move your body. You know what I'm saying? So
Yes. Yes. That was a good little story time right there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Look, because I just wanted to tease it a little bit as a in between from being a listener to actually being a part of, being a part of. I'm gonna call it the machine. The please do tell machine. If you know, come on now. That's it. That's it. The please do
Um,
tell machine.
so I do have a question for you. What made you say yes to even being a part of Please Do Tell?
Um, Actually, I had forgot about Friday and the 5th until you just brought it up like 10 minutes ago. Because COVID was so much going on during COVID that, you know, you were just throwing ideas and let's see if it's man on the wall. I thought I was going to be a chef at one point during
Yes.
COVID. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying. So, um, but I mean, we've been talking for a long time, and why not? I'm always, hey, you got an idea? Let's try it. So let's go for it. And then I knew that you would be supportive because you had already been in the space. So it allowed me to lower my inhibitions and just put myself into the space.
Hmm.
And the reason why I say that is because I think that any listener that has flirted with the ideal of wanting to do a podcast or being a part of a podcast, even being a interviewee on a podcast, it's just the point of being on the spot that all of a sudden just it it creates a level of anxiety or being scared, period, that it just says, you know what, I'm just not gonna do it. So being that you had already been in a space and was accomplished, it was one of those things like, if you don't do it now, then you a sucker. You know what I'm saying? So from that standpoint, it was like, hey, she gave you the alley oop. Like, come on now. This is this is great. Like I said earlier, I'm lucky to be a part of it. Like, no, so it was I was gonna you know what they say with young relationships, I was gonna give you a fast yes. It was easy. It was one of those like, oh, Ronnika asked me and it was like, okay. And then I remember you asking me, and then you was like, for real? And I was like, what do you mean for real?
Hey, that's
Like, come
so.
on now. Like, one, when have I, specifically my female friends, like, when have I ever like told y'all no? Like, you understand? So, and then like, no, you're established. Like, come on now. That's like, hey, all right, I'm in college and I need to get through this last semester. Oh, I can get you through this last semester.
Mhm.
Like, come on now. So, but I went from, but I came in with, hey, I'm gonna be a part of, but then you transition me into a co-host, which is different. So I came in as, oh, I'm a contributor, you
Yeah.
know, because I had did it before, like years ago after running for office. Um, I used to come in on another show on a radio and contribute, but that was like 8 to 10 minutes. Gave your point of view, went on about your business. But no, like you showed me that you got to put in a little bit of time, a little bit of effort, and don't think it's little. It's actually some time and some effort, and built a work ethic in it. So, if I believed in it, then I had to start working towards it as well. It was a fast yes. It was a fast yes, but we're here. I'm grateful. Yeah, I remember you was like, for real? That's crazy. Like, come on now. Like, have you heard
For so much.
look, I was like, have you heard your show? Like, come on now, you're making like community impact. Like, there's you're building a web of opportunity for people to either if it's in a space of healing or it's a space of comedy or of a face of experiences, you're providing all of that. Like, come on now. Why wouldn't I?
Funny you say that because I'm introducing new props on the 100th. So uh, my whiteboard, I'm gonna be like this with my laser pointer. Like, let's go to the board, shall we? Let's go to the
Hey,
board.
hey. Well, you gotta at least put 100 on there so we can see it.
Oh, yeah, 1 0 0.
Okay
Boom.
now. All right now. All right now. You supposed to underline it. Underline it.
Sorry, just
Yeah, there
just
we go. The little squiggly is even better.
there we go. Just
Look, I remember when we was a kid, you would see the teacher put a little squiggly on there. You were like, oh, that's so fancy. That was I'm tired of grading papers. I'm tired of grading papers, so I'm just gonna squiggly wiggly on your screen.
sick of this. I'm sick of y'all. I'm sick of this.
Look, I got tendinitis. Remember they had a carpet thunder. During our little era, they came out with the little brown
Do
things
not.
on their arm. They had it. Look, and I was inquisitive, so they had a little metal plate. See, a lot of people didn't know it was a little metal plate.
Wait a minute.
I took that one out. I had to know. Come on now. So my cousin and I, we used to wrestle, and we used to use that as like a foreign object against each other. Like, oh, hit him with a forearm. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Copper Tundra.
Okay. Nuts.
Oh.
Just because you said that, we finna transition right into at the playground.
You know.
Playground.
100 edition, 100 edition, 100 edition. Come on now.
You all, Jeffrey and I are going to talk about who we were as kids. I mean, I feel like we do that every time at the playground. What was your
We don't talk
early?
about as kids. We kind of like talk about some of the stuff we got into.
That's true, because if you did not listen to the last episode, boy, my inbox was on fire, and I started sending it to people that we were talking about in that episode, and they were like, "Wow, wow, I can't believe y'all." Yes, but it took them right down memory lane.
So it
That's
was
what we
so
want to do.
crazy. So it's so crazy in that last episode because, uh, look, I'm telling you, viewers, if you got to check out 99 before you can get to 100. All right, so
Got to stop right now. Go back and listen to 99 if you have not, and
because
then come back because 99
the
a bit.
saga continues. I'm telling you. There's addition to the story. I'm telling
Yes.
you. I'm telling you. You never knew who was married to who. But yeah.
Married to who, how long they've been married to who, the stories for listen.
Yeah. 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 It's
The
pretty
names
cool.
I didn't say that's popping up. It's like, okay, yep,
Yeah.
that
Pretty cool.
you were
Pretty cool.
there. You were
Pretty
there.
cool.
So we appreciate y'all. Really do. But can you remember your earliest storytelling? Like, or the earliest either story that you heard from an elder or maybe one of the ones that you've told? Because I mean, I was there, but I don't know if our listeners know much about you as a child. When did
Um
storytelling bug bite you?
I remember. Well, I was raised by my grandmother.
Mm.
Not saying my mother wasn't around. It's just that I was raised in a single parent household. So from that standpoint, my mother worked two jobs as if there was two people. So from that standpoint, my mother was at work. I stayed with my grandmother. You stay with older people, like you said earlier, or they said on Kings of Comedy, they go to church, they watch the news, you know what I'm saying, and then they watch their soap opera. So
Yeah.
that's literally my life. All
Game
right.
changer.
So I can get into soap operas such as wrestling. I still love the news. You know what I'm saying? Not much has changed, you know. So I remember those stories that she would always like explain to me. Whether it was Bible stories, because I've always been inquisitive. I'm always gonna ask you a question on another question. Or as my aunt would say, um, you can say that the sky is blue and I'm gonna explain to you that it's purple. I'm not like, because there always should be an option, you know. But maybe that's the kid in me. But
Hmm.
being around elders, you always heard stories. But what I learned, what took me to the next level of storytelling, in my opinion, is my grandmother would repeat the stories once, like my cousins were around. So I heard the shit twice, or three times, or four. So
Do I need to record this and then just play it back?
you know,
'Cause
but
I'd heard.
then I got to a point because that was the first couple, but then now you get comfortable by fourth grade. Now I want to interrupt her and tell the story for her, and you already know.
Abort mission. Abort.
Oh, but
Abort.
the first couple times you don't know when to abort.
Oh,
You
that's
don't
true.
know when to abort. How do you know when to abort? I'm a only kid. I didn't know when to abort. You abort once you've been touched. I guess I went a wrong turn. But yeah, that's what I would say was when I kind of developed storytelling. As in I would hear stories and then um or we would go to church and then I would see it from my perspective and my grandmother saw it from another perspective. So I would hear her talk to her friends about how and her interpretation, and then you would hear on the phone from them. So it was just like, storytelling is, it's how people conversate. It's how you communicate. So I learned it as a kid very early, very, very early. Yeah. It got to a point where I was like, kind of like in middle school, I was like, I don't even like to listen to this no more. Yeah, because it would be like, because by this time I didn't put in years of experience because I'm about 15, and some of them stories are negative towards me. I had to bust my mouth open because I was trying to, repeat, or as they would say, or they would be talking. You know how older people, elders would be talking, and you looking right in their face, and all of a sudden they stop.
Somebody all in my mouth. I gotta call you back. I'm like,
It's the worst feeling ever as a
"Good
kid.
for me."
How about
I
you?
want to know what you're talking about. I want to know what you're talking about. I spent a I too. For half of my, well, a little over half. Yeah, a little over half. Um, Going into adulthood, which happens at 18. I was in a two-parent household. Both of them worked. Like my dad, even up until he died, you deny overtime. It's like, oh my god, like, can I rest? So they worked a lot. My mom was in retail, and my dad worked at automotive factory, and so I was with my dad's mom all the time, all the time. And they lived on literally Main Street, like Main Street going, you take Main Street from, now you can take it from South Bend, all it will drop you right into Well, really, Indianapolis. That's the same highway. Will drop you right into Lake Michigan in St. Joseph, and but it was cool because there was a convenience store, Seven Sisters. Shout out to the Napiers. That was a couple doors down from my grandparents' house. So that was my job. Was I believe I've told you all many times because I do not shy away from it. Is that one of my first jobs was reading obituaries to my granddad every night. So that was my job. But with my granny, who I absolutely adored, born the day after her birthday, is I find myself even reflecting now on questions that I asked her when I was itty bitty, that in my genealogy research that is like, that's what she told me. It didn't click. I think I asked my grandmother, well, how many sisters do you have? Or I think I asked her a question of, well, why do babies die? And I remember her telling me the story of like their stillbirth and all that. But I was little. I was probably 4 or 5, not knowing that she had a miscarriage until I went and looked at one of my uncle's birth certificate, because this definitely says on there it has this as the mother ever had a stillbirth, a miscarriage, anything like that. And my sister and I was like, one, is that what she was talking about when I
Wow.
was little? So really tapping into those. I was a great listener from the very beginning because I knew I didn't want to miss nothing. I wanted all the details because that's how detailed my grandfather really was. It's like, do you have all parts of the story? Or my dad, when I would tell him the story, and oh, so you don't got all the facts. He would immediately, we just gonna go to the source. Yeah, dog. And I'm standing right there like, he said, no, you don't have all the facts. So we finna get it.
Right.
That's where
Right.
I got it from. It's like, oh
Right.
yeah, you ain't gonna be delivering just half
Right.
truths out here.
Right.
You gotta have the whole story. So I learned that very early on. Like, oh, you finna bust me out right now? Okay, I guess I better have all parts of this story before I even bring it to you. So that's what I learned early on. If I want
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
I better have every detail that I can gather
Because you
coming
don't
to
want
you.
to be shamed, because then nobody's gonna listen to you anymore.
No,
Yeah.
no. And
Yeah.
I think honestly, if you know, you know. Jeffrey and I, and I would just say this: a lot of people trust us. They do. Now, do we share like what other people tell us? But I know that as a trusted person, I know that there's people that confide in Jeffrey, and then there's people that confide in me, and I don't take that lightly whatsoever.
Yeah. 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 I always say, look, I'm an only kid, so only kids, we keep secrets. I think we can keep secrets. We ain't got nobody to give it to. Keep it simple. You know,
Give it to you're nuts.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying, I don't have nobody to give it to. So,
To
like, look, I guess it's mine. You end up treating the secret like it's your secret. You're like,
leave
damn.
leave me be. So,
Like,
what is one thing that you talked about as a young person endlessly?
I don't know if about like talking about it like endlessly. I just was, as I mentioned earlier, just being inquisitive. Uh,
Mhm.
but being inquisitive mean like you want to be into everything. And so what I learned early is how to lose, like how to lose. Like I remember no matter what I wanted to play in, I was always like behind somebody. Like I remember even I'll give an example. We talked about it before. All right, young authors. Remember young authors?
Yes.
All right. I won it for our class. But I was a damn loser because I couldn't even write it. I felt like I was a loser. Then it would go into like we would play like I remember playing sports, and in the beginning I wasn't that good. And so I come off, coming off the bench, so you're not, you're treated a certain way. I remember in sixth grade running for class president and losing to a fifth grader. That time, that's another
Wasn't
example.
it
You
wasn't
said
me.
what?
I said it wasn't me, y'all. It
No,
wasn't me.
no, it wasn't you. It wasn't you. It wasn't you. No, because we were in the same class, but I remember losing. It was like I remember the first time in seventh grade for basketball trials. Didn't make the team. It was
Mm.
like so I knew what losing was like early. And then still saying, "Hey, you got to continue on." It's I lost a lot. I lost a lot. I ran for homecoming, lost that. Ran for Mr. Bit lost that. You know what I'm saying? But end up being Capital League president because they wanted somebody that was responsible. So I won on a effing responsibility trophy. I learned I learned how to lose early, so like it built character though. You know what I'm saying? It built character. It was tough. Like if you go back, like I was good and stuff in baseball once I got older. But I lost a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So people be like, "Oh, you're so lucky." I was like, there was some rough years in the beginning, dog. Okay.
Y'all, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. 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 So yeah.
Oh, that's funny you say that because my brother said at my Grammy's funeral, which was 24. Yeah, 24. He was saying how she would beat him in games. And I thought to myself, my God, yes. Grammy would beat us. Like, what? We playing sorry? I'm finna beat you.
Yeah.
Cause she said, I'm gonna teach you how to lose. So
Right. Right.
did not know that was with each child. I was like, oh, that was a thing. And
Because
then
that's a
my
skill
grand,
set.
I was like,
It's a
what?
skill
And
set.
then my granny would cheat. Her interpretation was, what? I didn't do that. I didn't. What you talking about? No, I didn't do. Guess who? If you all remember, guess who? The game. She just be flipping things. I said, Granny, you can't do that. Okay, okay. Well, people gonna cheat.
Mm-mm.
It's like what?
Mm-mm.
These lessons at 4 and 5 that I don't know how they stuck with us, but they did.
I think
And
because it was
I'm
reinforced.
grateful.
You
It was
know,
what?
reinforced.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Because if they had to teach you a lesson, believe me, you heard it over and over.
Over and
Yeah.
over
I think
and
that's when people like tell me something and then repeat it. Oh, I can go that in. Like, come on now. Like and you didn't think I heard it the third time?
well,
Like, come on now. So
sometimes I say things twice.
mm.
So
Two is okay. But in the words of the comedian, Bruce, I don't chew my cabbage twice. So you get all you have to do is say it once. That's it. That's it. That's it.
okay, our last question in the segment because I what like Joe said, let Bruce
I
do it.
told you I was raised by the older
I'm
people. That's an old Southern little
ready.
cliche.
If 10-year-old you could see 100 episodes, what would they say?
Um, boy, it would probably be like the first time I watched Root. But I would learn so much to be prepared. I mean, because 10-year-old, I mean, just in my life experience, 10-year old me knew he was going to graduate from college.
Mm. Mhm. Mhm.
My
Mhm.
mother told me at 3 years old, either going to college, going to the military. I saw, Desert Storm, and I was like, I ain't going there. Shout out to the military for those who protect and serve. But I'm gonna have to use this other muscle. Um,
I
but I
cannot.
don't think that 10-year-old me definitely wouldn't have, you know, I wouldn't have been living on the East Coast.
Mm,
I
mhm,
thought 10-year-old me 10-year-old
mhm.
me said he was gonna live in Florida, actually. Yeah. You know, we used to write all the time. Well, I used to write with them numbers that we did in Miss Gorman, but, in Miss Cook class, we used to write too. But I've always kinda liked to write a little bit. So, I always used to, like, write short stories, and it always was in Florida.
Mm. 10-year-old me, um, very
The
well,
10-year-old you.
very well, actually. 10-year-old me would already have my eyes on which HBCU I'm attending. A Different World was so much a part of my life that I would have loved to see that go to 100 episodes. So to see that this episode, I mean this series, this podcast is at 100 episodes is like, wow, you have really have something that is built on longevity, and people really want to hear these stories. So I feel like that we're in the good company with A Different World because I mean that's 100 episodes right there.
There's nothing wrong with it. Miss
Hmm.
HBCU.
Hmm.
And look at 10-year-old you with thinking about HBCU, and then you end up with a master's degree from
Woo!
HBCU. Hello.
Double equal,
Hello.
double equal
Hello.
pride.
I don't know nothing about that.
Okay, so
What was that? It looked like your hands got loose.
act like you know, Pluck, what you heard. Double equal all day.
Mm-mm.
So you all culture check.
Let's go. Let's go. All right. All right.
So
We're
I
doing
just
a
want
little.
to go into podcasting as modern day oral history.
Mm-hmm.
What does that even look like for you when we think about this has been 100 years since Dr. Carter G. Woodson even started Black History Week. And now we have, then you got to think 50 years after that, after you started, became Black History Month, and we are still celebrating in 2026. So podcasting is modern day oral history. And I, a wise person once said that even the Facebook Live is the modern day pen. And if you don't know, now you know that one of my favorite historical figures is Ida B. Wells. So she was like, "Listen, baby, I ain't got to talk. My pen finna do the work for me." So when I think about this podcast, is that we're able to tell those lived experiences from literally everyday people, and we are those everyday people.
Yeah, okay. Every day. I like that. What I did want to share, because I wanted to look it up and actually get kind of like a quote. But Carter G. Woodson, the reason why he did or he launched in the beginning it was called Negro History Week.
Come on
Um,
now, come on now.
is because he wanted to combat the systemic exclusion of Black history from American education and literature, arguing that a forgotten people could not thrive. He aimed to elevate the achievements of Black people to the mainstream, fostering pride and creating a foundation of racial equality.
Mm,
If you just digest that words, those two sentences, that is why it's an importance for Black history.
mm,
Just period, as in being equal, and then also highlighting and showcasing how equal. Um, I know that we're recording, but we lost Dr. West just today. who is the mother of GPS. She passed away today. Um, I mean, those are people talk about GPS. Oh, just GPS it. Actually, it was a black lady that Dr. West, who actually is the founder or the creator of GPS. She just passed away today. I think that she was maybe 95 years old. So our history is so important because it's the history of the world. This is not just about us fighting back and forth with America, uh,
Mhm.
or us fighting back and forth with our cousin. And I'm going to be very strategic and call them cousins because we're all American. So I'm not going to fight about how my cousins do things during their um, heritage, and I would not want them to do the same for me. Um, but yeah, Dr. West, my condolences.
We also lost Jesse Jackson this week, and it's so um if you are not from Benton Harbor, Michigan, in 2003, um and I know I talked a little bit about this with my sister traveling and all that, and just the riots that were here. And around that time, Jesse Jackson came to Ben Harbor. Obviously, I'm seeing everybody in photos with him, and even somebody today saying, "Dang, I wish I would have got a picture with Jesse Jackson." I said, "What?" And I knew that it was the same day because I'm always looking at the background and all that. Jesse was making his rounds. He was everywhere. Photos, boots on the ground, everywhere. So just to know that this person was literally locking arms with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is now an ancestor. I know that. Oh my gosh, I feel like it was a pandemic. Denard and I were having a conversation. Shout out to Denard, third season. What's your why? Um, we were talking about all these great leaders who are their successors. I can remember where I was. I was traveling back and forth. I must have been going out of town or doing something. I was in Maryville, Indiana, at Chick-fil-A in the line, and Denard and I were having a serious conversation of when these leaders die, what is their succession plan? I want us all to think about that.
Well, I think that's a conversation because what I've seen uh, when you're talking about succession plan, I mean that could be family, but you're talking about the legacy of their social impact.
Yeah.
Um, you would have to identify early, and a lot of times, a lot of our leaders previously, the previous generation, Martin, Malcolm, Medgar, they were all suddenly assassinated. So I think
As
that's
young men.
yeah, they were
As-
all under the age of 40.
Yep.
So from that standpoint, I think it's hard to create a succession plan that way. Um, and then from the other end, and I think we've seen it from the last president. Obviously, we saw it from the last president because he bowed out months, 100 days before that people stay into power or stay into office just way too long. Uh,
Mhm.
and there
Mhm.
should have been a succession plan. So I'm
Yep.
with you when you talk
Yeah.
about succession plan there because and then there's always the third. Of course, we're in America, so it's a third party where the movement is over. And what I mean by over, as in, what's the next step? Because some people say, well, maybe I don't want to use nonviolence. That's a transition from the 60s, 70s, 80s. That's a transition. Or some people say, well, I don't want to believe in Reaganomics. Just
Mhm.
just different perspective. So, but I will say this because I wanted to talk about Dr. West. because it was today. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention about my experience with Jesse Jackson. I actually never met him that I can remember. Yeah. Let me just dumb that down real quick. I don't want to give y'all this great story that we met and hung out. No. But I met um Jesse Jackson when he was a Democratic nominee for when he was a Democratic nominee for president, as in he was at the convention. So the convention probably was in June, July, or August of '88.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I remember him giving a fiery speech. I had to be no more than five. So had given a fiery speech, and I remember looking back. I remember my grandmother watching, like it was a thing.
Yeah.
Like
Yes,
my
it
grandmother
was.
watched,
Yeah.
and like I think maybe my mama watched. Like it was kind of like how we used to watch Obama in '08, '07, '08. That's how Jesse was in '88. All right. So,
Years later.
but it was the first time that I had seen a black man with a fiery voice that had influence during my era.
Mm-hmm. Mm. That's
He was
good.
the first.
Yeah.
So later on, becoming an international diplomat. I remember he went over to North Korea, if I'm not mistaken, and got some people. So I mean, just his social impact is, you know, we're very appreciative of it.
I'm gonna say one thing and then we can segue into the next segment. But Jesse Jackson is featured in the episode season 2, episode 21 of A Different World. Um so that's number 1. But then number 2 is that we know that there's a different world reboot, and Jesse Jackson's daughter is one of the writers. I said, okay,
Didn't know that.
bring it on.
Yeah, I didn't know that. That's funny.
Yeah, so I was like, okay.
Okay, impact.
So I was really excited. So I'm just getting even more excited about the reboot. At first I was like, I don't know, but now I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready.
When is the just a sidebar? When is the reboot?
Sure, they're still
Okay,
recording. They're still in
okay.
production.
All right. I just want to make sure that I'm getting. I'm just want to make sure that I'm ready to pop my popcorn.
I might even come to New York for that. Whenever
Oh
the
boy. Oh
like what?
boy. You
You
know
know they're
one
gonna
of
start these 2 episodes.
I remember Different World because Sinbad was on there.
Ugh.
Sinbad being from same hometown, so
The hop.
graduated graduated from high school with my mama.
Mhm.
So it was like, oh, I know Sinbad. It's like one of those things. But the episode crazy, and I know you know him, but the episode that always sticks out to me was I was in South Bend, Indiana. Here's a random story. All right, so we don't lose focus. We don't lose.
Okay. Okay.
South Bend, Indiana. I was staying for spring break in South Bend with my cousins, and so, but it was supposed it was only two male cousins, and then the rest were girls. And then the one male cousin who was the oldest, he didn't end up going. So here I was with all these girls. So they doing all girl stuff all week. And I remember that Thursday, finally the Cosby Show come on, because the Cosby Show come on at 8. So of course I'm a little kid, so I'm all in on the Cosby. So then the next episode of A Different World was the episode where the guy raped.
Not Bruce Leroy.
So when that, just imagine that happens. I'm the only guy as a little kid, and it's nothing but girls. So it was, yeah. We'll talk about it later. Anyway, so that's the episode that I always remember from. Uh, uh, you already know.
Yeah, yeah. We talk about that episode a lot because I don't think we saw much from him after that.
I don't remember that. I don't remember even the characters. I just remember. I remember being like 5 years old, 6 years old, five. years old and being like, "What is going on?" Because they're talking about a sexual experience, and I'm 5'6",
Yes,
so I didn't know how to comprehend that. Like, I remember it was viewer discretion advised,
yes,
and
you
we
remember at the very beginning. Yes.
and then I remember they told me to go over, so I didn't see it, and I don't even think I've still to this day seen the scene, but I know it when I hear it as a little kid. Yep.
So the aggressor, or the I would say the villain in this story was Bruce Leroy from The Last Dragon.
Wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have to go back and watch it. Wow. Wow.
You do.
Mm,
You do.
mm, mm.
Yes, you do. Okay. We're gonna quickly go through the foolishness files and um
Not that hearty laugh.
Mike moment.
Front is off mic moments. Listen to music before we get on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
think that's pretty cool.
Well, last week
Did it
well
in a while.
after
Hint, hint.
after we completed the If You Know You Know late night show over on Facebook. If you haven't checked it out, you need to be following Jeffrey on Facebook so you can be in the If You Know You Know. It's a good
Okay.
time Thursday night. Um, Funniest off mic is you saying just this past week, the gig is up. I don't know how many times I said it in my head, the gig is up.
The
I
gig is
said
up.
that one of the funniest off mic moment. I said, "What is he is in rare form? He
The
wouldn't
gig.
stop.
The
The
gig
gig
is
up."
up.
So yeah, that would definitely be one of mine. Our recording fails. I just think that they help us grow, but we laugh through them every time. But
The
we gonna have
mics.
with
The
the mics.
mics. The
With the
mic.
mic.
Look,
The
y'all.
mic.
If you ever wonder why I'm on this mic like this, is because if you go and listen to the first few shows or so, my mic is terrible. So I was told to hug the mic. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Love
hugging.
it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. We love each
Yeah,
other.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you know somebody to know somebody to work at Best Buy or at Amazon, and just like, you know what, I want to gift them some mics, you could totally do that. We would not turn
Man,
them.
man.
Uh, I
I
can
don't
even
believe in turn it down.
I do not. I don't. I
Mm.
don't at all. So just thank you for hanging in there with us. A take you regret. Ooh, I got one.
Um, you know, I'm all in. So I ain't got no regrets. So
Mm.
I'm going down with the ship. I don't
There's
want to
one
taint it now.
episode that I wish.
I'm sorry, I was over talking.
No, I think it was a little delay, so it's delay for me.
She said, "Well, I'm just registered."
I'm just there, just
Mm-mm.
here. You know, there is one episode for sure that I do not. Um, and this is where the fail comes in at, or episode, yeah, or a take you regret. There's one episode that I just don't even chop up, edit, or anything because, uh, and I think this is around the time when I just stopped. Like, okay, maybe I should just stop having guests. Pre-production, we talked about everything that we were going to talk about, and then when we got to hit record, you don't give me shit. I was like, okay.
Mm-mm.
We just went through this whole pre-production of what you wanted to talk about. So now it's like I'm literally pulling, trying to pull it out of you, and it's still not coming. I said, okay, all right. I published it, but then I look back on it like, that's probably one that I probably should not have, but it's out there somewhere, y'all. You can figure it out which one I'm talking about. And I was like, yeah, that was a big time. Because I was even asked to do a part two of it. I was like, it'll be with somebody else.
Oh boy, you said it
And
was
I
already, and then you want another one.
We're not
Mm.
finna waste my time or my studio money on that because you didn't pay for none of that. So, yeah, you won't be welcome back. So, God bless and good night. Jeffrey, your
Yes.
evolution from episode 1 to 35, what has that been like for you?
Yeah. So I know we've doing Please Do Tell has been around for 100 episodes, but actually this is my 35th as co-host. Craziness. Good. Craziness. You said what it's been like? It's been craziness. Um, craziness. Um, it's it is a to have an expectation because Ronnika has an expectation. She has a brand. She's built a conglomerate. So it makes me create my own expectation. So um, that's a lot. Then there's days when you don't feel it. Like Renika and I talked maybe a few weeks ago. Well, one day I was just like, I was like, I don't want to do this, you know.
Yeah.
And what I meant, like, not, I didn't want to do it like long term. I just didn't want to do it that day,
Yeah.
like at all. Like, no. And Renika was like, actually, we're going to do 2 episodes or maybe 3, you know. And I was like, what?
You were like, yeah, I'm only got one. And then once we finished that one, you were like, you want to record another one? No, you just
See, but that was a part of it. See, once you get going, your energy, what we're talking about, sharing our experience, it makes you look in the lights like that. Like you're like, I'm ready, B. You know?
it's like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it gives what I need. And so I'm ready for episode 36 already.
Well, I do want to break it to you all that we're taking a little break next week.
Oh, damn, already?
No, oh no, what we coming back. It's just 1 week off. Jeffrey's calling it a
Midwinter break.
okay, so I
Yeah.
mean that's the thing.
Midwinter
It's not
break.
spring break really over here because it's still a little bit of dirty ice chunks outside. But we're just gonna be off for 1 week, you all. Will you still get content? Of course you will. Will you see our beautiful? Not for 1 week, okay? Just
But we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that
we'll
later.
talk about all of that later,
Yeah.
okay? So you all, we've arrived at the rapid fire.
Shoo, 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 shoo. Come on now.
Oh wow.
Look, I'm gonna get a real gun in here. No.
I mean, I would like these, but they're actually sparklers, and I don't want to set the house on fire. So I don't want to. I don't want to.
Don't ask us to babysit nobody's kid.
No, do not. Do not.
So
You'd
this
be
is
like, you want to play with fire? Sure. Just don't.
so this is rapid fire 100.
Ooh, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay. Do you want me to go first, or you go first?
What's your favorite episode?
Uh, honestly, now episode 90. Episode 99. That love lost. I mean, it was good. It was good. The people were in, they were engaged. I think that one cuz Jeffrey called me out about me being a snob towards Valentine's Day. It's okay. But yeah, that's probably one of my favorite episodes.
All right. All right.
What about you? Or we just
Um, I couldn't hear you.
I don't know if you were answering that one or if I'm just going to the next one.
Next one.
Okay. Most vulnerable moment.
I think that my most vulnerable moment is ancestral talk. Well, anytime we're talking about our ancestors, it's very vulnerable. As we see that our most decorated history is being erased, uh, even when it becomes personal, um, you may have an ideal of what you want to say, but
Yeah.
sometimes it just goes. So
Yeah.
that would be anytime I'm talking about an ancestor, whether it's you know, I was talking about my grandmother earlier. That was a vulnerable moment because I
Yeah.
don't share those with everybody. But obviously, I do now.
Like, damn, you just shared it with us. See, I'm
All right,
clocking.
all right.
Okay.
So, what's one word for 100?
Epic.
I'm gonna chime in on this one because I like it.
Mm.
Um, Consistency.
Woo, that's a good one. That'll do it.
Mm,
That'll do it.
mm,
Yep. It's
mm,
funny because I thought about that earlier. Yeah, but yeah,
mm,
that's good. Yeah,
mm.
that's good. I agree. One episode you'd redo. I already told you.
The episode that I would redo would be the one that we end up redoing anyway. Viewers, you don't know this, but we actually did a whole episode. The sound was so bad that we had to redo the episode.
Yep.
So it was craziness.
And we were off script and everything. But it was good. It was good. It was good. You didn't know, but it was good. It was good. We did it actually the day before. Yep. We did the day before it launched.
What's your
Yep.
most unexpected listener feedback?
So much. Especially with you and I is people saying that it doesn't feel like a podcast. It just feels like a conversation with friends. So that's I was like, wow, that's what you want. But yeah, that was unexpected. Is that it just really feels like you that the listener is our homies are actually in the studio with us and are really engaged in the conversation. So yeah,
We
I would
just
say that's unexpected.
we just chilling and sharing, chilling
That's
and
it.
sharing.
That's all we
Seriously,
want.
seriously, with a little bit of research behind
That
it.
is it. That is it. Do you have okay, oh, what's more? What would episode 200 be about?
I think that episode 200, it's I'm gonna put it in. It's gonna have brighter lights
Ooh.
and and flashes and
Whew.
so here we go. Look, just putting it on you. So just putting it out there. That's what it's. When I think of episode 200, yep.
Okay, one more question.
And what would be your dream guest? Who? Excuse me. Who would be your dream guest?
I would love, and I think this is possible, so I'm gonna put it out there. Jeffrey and I can talk to President Barack Obama.
Okay, dream. Dream.
Hmm. Dream, dream. But yeah, I think that would be cool.
Okay, now I like that. I like that.
Did you want to answer that one or no?
Dream guest would be Quinta Brunson.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Quinta Brunson. I think that she's, young,
Mm,
feisty,
yep.
impactful, and all about a story.
Ooh, that's a good one. Not you ended rapid fire like that.
Come on now. I gotta make sure
Shoot.
when I gotta tag her on that one. That was pretty good. That's
You
pretty good.
do. You do,
But I
damn it.
meant it.
You did.
I meant it. Look, I've seen all her episodes. She need to be at one of ours.
Okay.
That's
Because I was
that's my
definitely like,
invitation. Not you should, but I'm asking.
you
Come on, Quinta.
need to be here. You
Miss
should
Brunson.
be here. Yeah. Okay. You all, I can't believe this. This is the end of the episode. How do we get here? How did we get here? It's the
Along
end.
for the ride.
So what's next? More stories. We are definitely looking at the live show. What did that look like? What will that look like this year? You all have voted. Clearly, I'm gonna be the one traveling. Just saying. Um, but yeah, it's so much more to come. We're just getting started.
So
It's so much
buckle
more
up,
story.
tag along. You've been here for the first 100, and if this is your first episode, well, you see what it's like. If it's your second episode, well, tag along. Tell a friend.
Tell a friend, tell a homie to become a homie so we can all be homies.
Absolutely.
Just saying. Jeffrey, before we even scoot out of here, where can the good people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Mr. Fantastic World at MRFANTASTIC World WORLD, or you can find me on Facebook at Jeffrey JEFFREYBOOKER. We do the If You Know You Know late night show Thursdays 10:15 p.m. Be there, be square, because Ronika's there.
What? And Jeffrey's there too. You can find me on Threads, Instagram, and Facebook as Ronika. I'm RONNIKA .Williams. I'm not the .Williams on Facebook, but you can find me there too. The funny thing is, also last week we talked about there's two Ronika Williams, so you can follow both of us actually because we're both pretty dope. And we already told you that we're going to be taking a week off after this premiere, so just be sure to catch up on previous episodes.
Look at the little sidebar. I seen the conversation on your Facebook page between Ronika. I was like, uh,
Wild, right?
and then
Wild.
then I click, and then I clicked the wrong one. I said, "What is going on?" I guess, damn it, she's my friend too now. Yep, yep.
Love it. I love it. So you all, thank you for rocking with us. This is episode 100.
Come on now.
More to come. You might even see us on the road somewhere. It's just we're gonna be outside. Okay, we're gonna be outside. So
We'll see you in March. We'll see you in
know
March.
it. You know it.
Shout out to Black History Month.
It is concluding, but we're gonna march right into what? March. So it's so much store. What'd you say?
Hopefully good weather.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Yeah. Well, you all, until next time, I'm your homegirl Ronnika. This is the Please Do Tell podcast. And Jeffrey,
I'll holla at you.
holla.